My 4-step knee checklist, the better you get at reverse sled, the easier it becomes to do reverse step-ups. The more stable and pain-free you get there, the easier it is to get into full range of motion split squats, and the easier those get, the easier full range of motion squats get. With reverse sled, think of starting with no weight, and then over time, being able to do more weight and faster. It turns into like knee cardio. And for the reverse step-up, start with a lower step and assisted, and realize this is where I started, and this is actually the simplest way to show how I made my knee and jump transformation. So now this is how much weight I'm supposed to be lifting per my structural balance, but it started at negative weight on a lower step. And then I put this here to show my split squats. I had to start assisted. So the thing you're worst at for your knees is likely the area you have the most room to improve. And then this progresses to loaded if you desire. For my mom, I just want her to maintain body weight on these things, not even add additional load. And then in my case, I have exact numbers of how much I can control in a deep squat, which then determines how much weights I use on the rest of the exercises. And that's the subject of today's video actually, but I realized I'm doing a Poliquin Step Up, which is heel elevated, no slant. And you should know those 4 steps before you worry about other stuff. That's the foundation. That's the conversation I've had thousands of times. That's helped people to thousands of knee success stories. But most importantly, people who get those 4 steps and realize that they can use those 4 as needed to help people, I see so many results then coming in of people using those 4 steps to help others. And it's not the only thing for your knees. Those are the 4 direct things I use for the knees, the direct 4 basics for the knees. And then there's still all these other secondary areas. You put all this together, it's pretty cool what we can do for the body without ever working through pain in the process. So we'll finish on this, and then we'll go right into the Poliquin Step Up. The slant simply takes a quad exercise, and then when studies have compared, it makes it even more of a quad exercise, and it develops your patellar tendons more. So compared to traditional flat-footed lifting, when the heel is elevated with slant boards, they see athletes return to sport faster. You get incredible results by comparison. However, trying to use a big slant board for single leg work gets a bit tricky. It gets slidey. This is rubber, so it gives me something that can stay there. It can hold up to weights. I don't have to worry about it. I can use it for my step-ups and my split squats. I did my first order of these from China, not knowing anything, and now I've switched over. I have these being made with American-made recycled rubber. So no, I don't think this has to be something fancy, but it's pretty cool that I can have a pair of these and travel and do my step-ups, split squats, help people get into squats, because a lot of people aren't as comfortable unless they actually angle out some on squats. I actually don't really care how your feet are on your squat. I care about that control in the bottom quarter and using the stance that you like. But it's a useful tool, and it's extremely unlikely anyone's ever done more single leg knee training than I have. So it would make sense that I would try to make this accessible. And now just seeing how the world runs, I'm bringing literally everything I do American made. A bunch of stuff has never been made in America, and I have it being made in America right now. Even my sneaker, where my whole competition is gonna be made outside of America, this bad boy, it's like a barefoot sneaker. So it does give you some support, because it's not natural to be in these shoes that jam our toes together, but it's also not natural to be on concrete all day or playing basketball on hardwood. So I've been searching for something for like 5 years, finally made it. The prototype is gorgeous, and even that we're making in America. Anyways, I think American made is my new knees over toes. Gotta have something to stay passionate about, right? So let's take a look at the Poliquin Step Up versus Poliquin Step Up. That was my intended subject today. I'm using 55% of my working weights for 5 reps on squats, and I'm doing sets of 15. The Poliquin Step Up was made after the Poliquin Step Up. This is the Poliquin Step Up. Heel elevated, control only to that heel, so I can't cheat. Charles Poliquin used this to help Olympic athletes win gold medals who thought they were done because of their knees. This is really stable, but he got the idea from Carl Peterson, a Canadian downhill ski coach who used no slant, and you'd have to lift the heel, so the calf has to be strong. So let me finish out. So I'm trying to control lifting my heel. I'm just trying to get to that same angle. The Poliquin Step Up came in later as a regression to be more knee-centric. Now I'm trying to make my feet and my lower legs as strong. Which is better? I alternate both evenly. So this step up session is Peterson step up. Next time around, it'll be Poliquin step up. I'm trying to match my Peterson step up. So I know that this is gonna give me a challenging workout. Don't know what reps I'm in, but I've done a ton of sets. Heel lifting, push. So my intention is through the ball of my foot. This is more of a stabilizing challenge and more load since I don't have that slant to keep up my heel. Always trying to control, explode without bounce. All right, that's enough to demo. So why 55% when split squat is 50%? If we look at our squat, now split squat, we're only talking half of the squat. That makes sense in theory, but really the split squat is not half as strong as the squat. You have the back leg still pressing. So even though it's half the weight, you're not actually handling half the load because you still have your same body here. Let's see if I can make this simple. If I take this weight right here, 85, it's not 85. You see why the in-app calculator is needed. It's almost done, by the way. What do I have here? Hard in a workout, 55 kilos. 55 kilos. How obvious is that math? 100 kilos, 55 kilos. 55% of my squat weight. So this is 110 plus 11, so 121 pounds. So 121 pounds. I'm about 185. So let's just say 300 pounds. So between my body and the bar, 300 pounds there. So now if we double that to think in terms of a squat, 600 pounds, subtract my weight, 420. This is the amount of load on my knee as like trying to do 420 in a squat, but it's true. I couldn't take this much weight on my back and do just like a straight pistol squat. So with this much weight. So we are stronger in the top quarter. And notice this, we have all the weight, whereas on a split squat, the back foot is down. So we're actually quite a bit stronger in the top quarter of the knee range. So this is such a unique category, this layer 2 of reverse step-ups, because it progresses to super advanced things like this Peterson step up with heavier weights than we would be in this position on a squat in terms of how much actual load there is, but yet it regresses to such extremely low levels, much less than would be needed on a split squat or a squat. Now, I think I've covered this and its numbers and why the reverse step up is 55% and for triple the reps, meaning it's gonna take me, this is like about my lifting speed, it's gonna take me the same amount of time to do 15 reps in a Poliquin or Peterson step up as it would take to do 5 reps in a squat. So the reps is really, it's not reps, think the time under tension. I'm just trying to have about the same time under tension. So 55% of my squat, because we're stronger than here, even though the split squat is only 50%. So you could also calculate, okay, in a step up, 6-inch step, I should be, with heel elevated, I should be 110% of my split squat. These numbers videos, working out, I appreciate you bearing with me. I assure you, I'm doing my best job because you're often looking at a second or a third take after I've already done much worse. So thanks for bearing with me. Thanks to everyone who is supporting my simple products. Right now, we just have buddies and sled straps, but I mean, we have everything coming in and being made in America, which I'm really passionate about. So thank you for supporting. P.S. And this session actually finishes knees behind toes, lower back below parallel, aiming for twice the weight of what I used on 6-inch step, heel elevated reverse step up, which scales to any level because you can do assisted, and this scales to using dumbbells, sliding them down the thigh as you stretch your hamstrings without your back rounding. So structural balance, we've seen in just 1 week, applies from ankle to knee to hip to shoulder, from one side of each joint to the other, from one side of the body to the other, and even to mobility. So the reason I can do stuff like a front split is not from spending a bunch of time stretching, but from training my strength in harmony to my flexibility. So this number only counts in the system if I have that amount of mobility, because in a less range, I would use a lot more weight. So knee behind toe, lower back below parallel. Half the reps of the reverse step up is about the same difficulty. It's about the same time under tension. And double the load ensures that my back is strong enough for my knees. See ya.